evening, all IIF and MMA members. Okay. Before starting the program, I am requesting everyone to put your mobile phone on silent mode. I think we are going to hear a lot of sounds. It's not disturb the program. And as we all know that we have started our management program with in tie-up with MMA for last tenure, and for this tenure, this is our second program. And today we have our very interesting topic, inner energy management through sound therapy, and by speaker Mrs. Sunithi S. Ramesh, founder Satvat Holistics Private Limited. She is a sound therapist and Gong master. I don't know what is Gong master. I was trying to search what is the net. Okay, then only I saw this picture. Okay, and I think sound therapist, we all as a layman, we can relate only with Ilayaraja. That's what I can remember. Okay, if any issues we see the Ilayaraja song. That's what we know as a sound therapist. Let's hear more from you, madam. Okay, start a program as thing. I request our chapter chairman, Mr. V.K. Raman, to welcome the gathering. Thank you.
Thank you, Senthil. Good evening, madam. So it's my immense pleasure. It's my immense pleasure to welcome you all for this wonderful program. I welcome Madam Sunithi Ramesh, Sunithi Suresh for this program. I welcome fellow Foundrymen and MMA members. See, the Foundryman used to manage the energy in his occupation. That's the day-to-day activity for him. But Madam is going to talk about the inner energy management through sound therapy, which is a totally different topic for all of us. So, definitely after this program, our inner energy definitely will get enhanced. So that's the belief. So once again, welcome all the members. Welcome you, madam. So attend the program fully. So you can raise your doubt or question at the end of the program. Madam will be in a position to give full explanation for all the questions. Thank you. Over to Senthil.
Thank you, sir. To introduce the speaker, I would request Mr. Siddharth, our council member, to introduce the speaker to the audience, please.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Very often do you find a person who's introducing the guest speaker little puzzled and actually, surprised as you can do so many things in your life within such a short span. So it was great actually just getting to know her. I think it'll be greater by the end of the session on what we're going to learn from her. So Ms. Sunithi S. Ramesh, her motto in life is leave people better than you found them. So we all can expect what we are in another 2 hours time. So to just say a few words about ma'am, she's currently the co-founder, director of Satvat Infosol IT Solutions. She's held multiple positions from the year 1991 onwards. She's currently the member board of studies member Department of Computer Science, Stella Maris, guest lecturer and external examiner for various colleges in networks, multimedia and GIS, consultant for exam related activities and question bank preparation for staff selections. Lot of other activities as speakers and chief guests throughout India. And then to mention some of her salient awards, she has received the Distinguished Women Entrepreneur Award from National Foundation of Entrepreneurial Development, recipient of many awards at Business Network International, recipient of Achievers Conclave Award in 2014, an event conducted by Wales University, recipient of Best Employee Award during all years of employment in other companies, recipient of Best Outgoing Student of Class 91. So you can see the consistent level of high-class performance throughout her life. So just to give a few words on her basic education, it would be Bachelor of Engineering, ECE, from Tyagaraja College of Engineering. Mother Karna sound and sonanga, yung sound le expert aitanga. So, and then she's also an MS Software Systems, BITS Pilani, Diploma in Cyber Security, IMT Ghaziabad. Other qualifications include Certified Sound Therapist, Certified Gong Master, Certified Sound Therapy Teacher, pranic healing, EFT practitioner, and theta healer. Almost half of it I didn't know. I'm going to learn from Avru. So over to you.
So good evening, gentlemen of IIF and MMA, and thanks for the very warm welcome. I was actually embarrassed when you were flipping through the pages. Next time I should make a shorter summary which is easier to understand and also read out. I think we just sent out our regular thing. So thank you very much for this honor and privilege of being able to share with you something about energy and how we can manage our inner energy through sound therapy. So till about 2014 or 2015 beginning, I was also a very left-brained, logical person. I'm also from an engineering background. So it was purely only physics that made sense to me. And I am part of Satvat Infosol, which is an IT solutions company. So that has been in operation from 99 and till 2014 I was purely a techie, a workaholic, and I gathered so much stress that is very normal when you keep working in the industry, and then started developing certain issues which made me think about how to get into good health. And that is when I started discovering about energy. And once I started reading, researching, and undergoing several, going through many modalities, I understood that it is just not physics. There is also a metaphysics where there is an energy inside us, around us, of which we are not aware or we do not believe because we are not able to see it. But for that matter, we don't see our brain, but we still believe that we have a brain. Similarly, we have an energy inside and around us, and if we are able to work on that, we can actually get into very good health physically, mentally, and emotionally. So we all give a lot of importance to physical fitness. And after the COVID, we have started thinking about mental health because that is also something very, very crucial for us now. People have started realizing the importance. What we are not really aware of is there is something called energy fitness. If we are able to keep ourselves energetically fit, the byproducts would be physical and mental health. So it was in fact very difficult for me in the beginning to kind of talk to people about something called energy and how we can work on that energy and try to become physically and mentally fit. And slowly I devised a lot of programs, and I kind of now I think I'll be able to put together to make sense to people who may not be aware of it and experience it also. So if I were just talking, I don't think at the end of the session I would leave a mark in your mind. But when I discovered sound therapy, or rather I became a student of sound therapy, I found that as a wonderful tool to manage our energies. And it's a very tangible thing. So as Mr. Sendil was saying, we all gel so much with music, isn't it? When we are not feeling good, we resort to music as a solace to lift our moods, because sound has got the capability of transforming our moods to a very large extent. So we are made of sound actually. So I would, during the session, I would kind of try and explain certain things as to why our origin could be sound. So today I just want to introduce you to the inner energy that we all have and how we can try and work on it with the help of sound therapy. See, mostly the paradigm that we believe in now are that we are biochemical beings. That is, we have tissues, we have bones, we have muscles, and we secrete a lot of hormones, and the body is full of chemicals. So if I have a problem, I can introduce some chemicals into my body and I would be able to manage issues. And we also believe that we are mechanical to some extent because we have movement of the joints, we have movement of the various parts of the body. So this is the paradigm that is there now. But surprisingly, maybe a few decades earlier, people started understanding that we also have an energy inside us. And the new paradigm today that people have started understanding that we are also energetic beings, and we are also informational beings. Informational in the sense that there is actually a self-correcting capacity inside the body, which if we are aware and we put it to the right use, would give us the good health that we want. So we are just going to try to understand this slightly more. Many of you have heard of this term, aura? Yeah. So have you felt your aura? Yes? Have you seen the aura?
We hear, but we are not felt.
Yeah, that's how we hear about aura, but we do not you would have felt it, but you may not have seen it. How do we feel our aura? Say, for example, 2 or 3 of us are standing here and talking, and when one person just takes a step forward, maybe the other person would involuntarily move backward. This person has not even touched, but just a movement slowly backs the other person, because one person is intruding into the aura or the energy space of another person. Sometimes when we are traveling in a bus or a flight, seats are so close to each other, and maybe you're sitting with closed eyes, suddenly you feel that somebody is touching your knee. And is that passenger hitting me with his knee? And when I turn, I see that his knee is in his place. There is a small gap between his knee and my knee, but still I feel that as if he's touching me, because his aura and my aura are actually overlapping. I'm sure some of us would have felt this. Have you felt it? Have you felt that even without a person touching you, you would be kind of feeling it? And sometimes when somebody comes behind you, without turning, you know that there is a person. You feel a person. That is because we feel them in our aura. So what is this aura? The aura is actually a small energy field which extends outside our physical body. There are 2 components to the aura. I'm just putting it very simply, not getting into a very complicated thing. We can just understand that we have something called an inner aura, and then we have something called an outer aura. The inner aura is just about 4 to 5 inches in width, and the outer aura, depending upon how energetic that person is, could be even this big. Do we sometimes feel very, very comfortable in somebody's presence? The minute we see a person, we say, wow, very charismatic. I feel very good when I talk to them. I feel good when I see them. And sometimes when we see some people, we feel drained. When we talk to somebody and come out, oh my God, just by talking, I became so tired. And we feel that we have lost our energy. That is because our aura may have become depleted, draining our energy by just talking to or being in the presence of maybe a person who is not so positive in his thoughts. So what makes a person positive or negative is more the thoughts. Because whatever we think just gets out into the aura. And today we talk or we hear about something called the laws of attraction. Have you heard that? The laws of attraction. So now management gurus have also started talking about the laws of attraction. It's no longer only people who work in the energy healing field who talk about the laws of attraction, because we all know that like attracts like. Earlier in physics it was only like poles repel, but now we understand like attracts like. So we try to remain positive so that we attract more and more positive. So what defines the aura of a person is more the thoughts. And sometimes when we feel very energetic in somebody's presence, it is because they have a very good aura, which means that their thoughts, actions, and their words also are more or less positive, or at least most of the times positive. So this aura around the body is also created by a lot of electric energy which is there inside us. See, we are able to measure the working of our heart, the working of our brain with the help of this EEG, ECG, which are electrical signals. So every biological process inside the body generates some amount of electricity, which also contributes to the energy. So this energy inside the body and the aura outside, if we are able to manage it well, we would really see a turnaround in terms of being very healthy and feeling always good in the mind, and that the emotions are always in a balance. And today, we are believing the aura more because we do have certain instruments which are capable of measuring the aura. There are some instruments that are called the biowell. Earlier, we were not able to see the bones inside our body till the the X-ray was invented, isn't it? So till then it was more like the treatment by, the doctors or whoever were doing it before. It was with the feel. But now we are able to see inside the body, we are able to see the bones, we are able to see the intricate working of the body with the help of instruments. And today we are able to measure or see the aura also of the body with the help of instruments. There are a few instruments which have come up. And if you see in this particular picture, what you see here, this is actually called I'm not too sure if the colors are visible, not visible, but it is something like, there are some colors around this person. This is with the help of something called the Kirlian photography. So a Russian photographer, he made attempts to photograph the aura, and he came up with a method that's still today called as the Kirlian photography, which gives you a representation of the color of the aura. So suppose we are very confused, we are very agitated, so the thoughts are also very confusing, and the aura sometimes becomes very murky. It is a mix of several colors. And sometimes if you are very calm and quiet, very serene, it could be in the colors of, the pastel colors like green or violet or whatever it is. So one is Kirlian photography, the other one is an instrument that is actually called biowell, which uses, the biowell, which actually uses the GDV, that is called the gas discharged visualization, for measuring or seeing the aura around a person, which is taken with the help of a fingerprint. The pressure that you put on a particular plate, that is actually measured, and we can see the aura. So now we do have scientific proof about metaphysics also, so that we can safely conclude that yes, we do have an aura. And if our aura is very clean and it is covering us, we would always be protected. And there are sometimes when we start having leaks like this. In a sick person, there are many leaks inside the aura, because of which the physical body also becomes weaker than what it is because of the leaks in the aura. So, understanding that we have an aura and we do have an energy inside us. So why should our aura not have leaks? And why should, it should be in the shape of an oval shape surrounding us? So before we get into that, I would just like to tell you about, if I say that, we have to be energetically fit, there is no use in just saying that be energetically fit. What should I do to become energetically fit? There should be some kind of a simple technique which I can adapt. Say, for example, if I want to make my biceps stronger, I know that I have to lift weights, I have to do the bicep curl. That is a technique. So like that, if I have a technique to become energetically fit, then it makes sense. Otherwise, it's just talk. Oh, we have energy, we have to be fit. So there are a few techniques which are actually practiced by energy healing practitioners all over the globe. And they do it when they are healing people, like pranic healers, Reiki healers, and so on. But what I have discovered is that this is just not for people who are into healing. If all of us who are in the corporate world and who are in this, the mundane world, if we are able to adapt that, our life becomes much, much easier. There are a lot of times when we put in so much efforts, but we do not get the results that we want. And sometimes we completely seem to be floating from one thing to another, but nothing materializes. Have you not felt this in our professional as well as personal lives some of the times? We say that I feel very clouded. I am not able to think clearly. So when we have something like that, or there is some kind of a anxiety running in our mind most of the times, we feel sometimes insecure for no reason, and sometimes we have something called a speculative fear. Like, it has not happened, but what if it happens? So we have that kind of a fear, and that becomes stronger as we grow older. We have a lot of insecurities in our mind that crop up, maybe about our health, our family's health, the future, what happens when I retire, so many things. Speculative fear sometimes really eats up most of our brain and we succumb to it. So if I should feel safe and secure, and if I should ensure that my efforts produce the result that I want, there is a simple technique that is actually called grounding. So just like, a building is always, we have an earth wire which passes out the excess energy over there. So if I have to connect to the energies, if I have my own source of energy, it is actually Mother Earth, the ground. So if we are able to connect ourselves strongly to the planet on which we have come to do many things, so the grounding will help us to get anchored, and this works on one of the energy centers of the body. So just like the aura, we also have energy centers in the body. They are called the chakras. Have you heard of this term? The chakras. So mostly people who are practicing yoga may be aware of these chakras. They are energy centers. Again, they are invisible, but they can be felt. So because we cannot see them, we cannot discount them. And one of the easiest chakras to feel is actually the one between the forehead. Like I think as children also we would have played, no? We go and put our hand near a friend's forehead and say, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Kurukurunguda, the way we ask, right? This is the easy energy center to feel. This is actually called the third eye or the Agnya energy center. Like that we have many energy centers in our body. And when we are grounded, we connect from the tailbone and the soles of the feet into Mother Earth. And we visualize us like a tree. A tree is not easy to, cut down because it has got such strong, thick roots spreading wide. So just like that, if we are able to visualize the roots which go inside to Mother Earth, we are anchored, and that works on the base energy center or the root energy center as it is called, and we feel very safe and we feel very secure, and we overcome that speculative fear which sometimes is overwhelming. So grounding is one of the techniques, and the next one is actually called shielding. So we saw an aura which has got a lot of leaks. Suppose we are physically not healthy, our aura is bound to be like that. But when an aura is not closed properly, we invite a lot of negative thoughts, negative elementals coming into our aura and making us worse. And there are a lot of times when we do something, sometimes we are very secretive, isn't it? We do not like to share with others. Don't say it out. Evil eye will come. And it is not very good to be, under the pretension of not being proud, we do not disclose a few things because we think that if somebody else hears about it, they may feel jealous, they may feel, they may not have very positive thoughts about my success or progress. And we have that limiting belief that if I am very successful, somebody else may not be very happy about it. We tell children also, isn't it? That, be very careful, be humble, be modest, do not. That's all good. But we all have that fear that we are going to collect some negative vibes. So if we have to protect ourselves from that, what we can actually do is something called a shielding. From Mother Earth, we can pull up the shielding energies like a golden sphere around us. Say a VIP, if he wants to travel, he wears a bulletproof vest and he's very confident when he's traveling because nothing can hit him. So if I have got that same kind of confidence that I have a shield around me, that I am not going to be affected, you'll be surprised to see how so many things change in our lives. We can move ahead confidently in many things, and we feel safe and secure if we are just able to ground and shield ourselves. And the aura, which I said could get murky at times, can also be cleansed by just visualizing a grounding card and just releasing whatever we do not need out of the aura. And very surprisingly, a grounding which we do, we visualize golden roots, or what we call the card, from our base of the spine and from the legs, which move into Mother Earth. And believe me, it is actually a very interesting thing that helps us to let go of emotions. How many of you battle with anger, worries? All of us. We have our equal share of Anger. So anger, I mean, like, if you just talk about an emotion like anger, anger is something that it's like I am in a house, and if I'm so angry and I just spew it out, the person in front of me is getting so offended that they are not willing to interact with me, they are not willing to enter my house. Okay, let me not show it out to people, I'll keep it suppressed. So I am just suppressing it inside myself, but that starts affecting my body. And actually each emotion affects different parts or the organs of the body. For example, anger affects the liver. Today, do we see so many people suffering from non-alcoholic cirrhosis, fatty liver, issues like that? All of them are psychosomatic. Why would a healthy person who's doing a proper, who's having a good life, suddenly succumb to non-alcoholic cirrhosis, especially even ladies for that matter? Most of the times, emotions affect our organ. For example, as I said, the liver and the eyes get affected by anger, and fear affects our throat, and it also affects the kidneys. So these emotions, lower emotions, are something that we should not have, but easier said than done. Don't get angry. Is it possible? It is very difficult. So is there a safe way in which I can dispose of these lower emotions that I have? Your grounding card, surprisingly, helps as a garbage chute. So if you are angry, and if you are just able to visualize that you are going to send that anger down the grounding card, it is a safe disposal mechanism. You are not having it inside you, you are not actually throwing it out at somebody, but you are able to push it down easily. When I say, it may sound very bizarre, but when we experience it, you will feel the change. So a grounding card is very helpful that way. And the next thing that helps in being energetically fit is to cut the cords. And I'm sure it doesn't make sense when I just talk about a cord. A cord is actually a connection that happens whenever we meet a person. So each time we come across a person, we establish a card to them, and this card is actually an exchange of energies. So even if you are coming by car and suddenly a bicyclist comes in between and you shout at him, there is a card that has gone. And whenever you meet people in your office, in your house, everywhere we have cards that are established. So the card just keeps exchanging energy. So that is why sometimes when we see somebody, we feel very energetic because we may be drawing energy, positive energy from them. And sometimes you feel very drained because you are giving out your energy through the card. And sometimes you may be drained or you feel very low because you are connecting your energy card with somebody who has a higher negative energy than your positive energy. So that also is dangerous. Say, even when we admire a politician, when we admire a public figure, we establish cards with them. We establish cards with everybody. And between the family members, the card that we have is actually called a tie. In that tie, there is always a healthy exchange of energy from the parent to the child, between siblings, spouse, and all that. That is a very healthy card that we have. But unfortunately, what happens is, as we grow up, we all have our own identities, our own perception of life, that even relationship with parents, relationship with siblings sometimes turns very sour. How many of us are very comfortable, in the relationships that we have within our close family and our extended family? The relationship between children also sometimes changes when they grow older, and there are a lot of differences of opinion, and the exchange of a healthy exchange even within a family sometimes becomes very, very difficult. And there are a lot of times when we have memories, traumatic memories of the past, maybe some kind of a very bad relationship that we had, maybe with a friend or maybe with the extended family, and that card could still be draining us. So we have to manage the cards by cutting them. By cutting a card, it doesn't mean that we are severing our relationships with people. It doesn't mean that if I cut my cord with maybe my brother with whom I don't see eye to eye on many things, it doesn't mean that I am abandoning him. It means that I cut that draining card and I just replace it with a tie. which is a healthy exchange. But you will be very surprised to see how we can move on with life. There are sometimes when we have repeating patterns. Maybe we always, for me it used to happen, I always used to hurt my left knee till the extent that I had to go in for a ligament reconstruction surgery. All this was before I could understand why things like this happen. So repeating patterns in life, and even when we think about a person from the past, if we still feel so much of negative emotions, they all could be because of cards. So if we are able to cut the cards, we would be able to move on with life. So we, in the in the mundane world where we are all professionals working, sometimes it is very hard to believe, but don't we all want health, peace, happiness, joy in life? That is what we are all working for, isn't it? So if there is some kind of an understanding of how we can do things better on a day-to-day basis, and if we are able to be energetically fit, and if we are able to become physically and mentally fit because of that, it becomes much easier. We all have a fair share of stress, isn't it? Just like time, I think if we all have everything, something in equal, it is only time and stress. Right from small children, today stress is abundant in our life. And I was so surprised when I met a small girl who's just about 9 years old. Who said, I am in depression. And I was very surprised. I asked her, wow, are you in depression? What does that mean? She says, I feel sad most of the time. She also knew the meaning. I said, why are you depressed? Oh, because of many things. And see, that has become an acceptable fact. Maybe we didn't even know the spelling of depression when we were small children. But today, children talk about depression, and we all talk about stress. And there are so many people who even go to the brink and then somehow come back. Very unfortunate. So this stress, which is causing all these energy disturbances in our body, has to be removed. Unfortunately, there is no surgery which can remove the stress. And I don't have a pill that will remove stress. So we have to resort to some methods which may help to reduce the stress, because this stress puts a lot of pressure in the energy that I have inside my body. So it is good to understand all these things, but how do I do it? So if I say visualize a golden card going down, it sounds sometimes impractical. I am not able to do that. Not all of us are visual people. So that is when I discovered that sound therapy is a wonderful tool to help us to get into that state in which we would be able to work on the energies of our body. And sound is actually an energy that is connected very closely to us, because that is the first sense that develops in the human embryo. And it's very interesting to see that, even the ear is actually in the form of a fetus. So that is the first sense that develops, and that is why, pregnant mothers are advised that, you listen to good things, don't talk harshly, loudly, the child inside will get disturbed. And we do have many stories even in our mythology about, how in the embryo, children can listen and learn. And that is also the last sense that leaves the physical body. So that is why whenever a person, moves from the physical plane, the body is there, we have so many chanting, so much of sound related things that happen. So we have a very close association with sound. Suppose I give you a video file which has got no audio. You would not be interested in seeing it for more than a few seconds. It seems very uninteresting. But suppose you listen to Ilayaraja music. For 3 hours also you don't want to see the video. You just listen, because though eyesight is very important, we are so closely associated with the sense of hearing that it makes a whole difference. And we all know that we have the world was created with the Big Bang theory, which was actually something from singularity just exploded. And that sound energy started forming the universe. And we are all part of that vast expanding universe. So sound therapy works on capitalizing on this sound to bring our body into fitness energetically. And today, it is actually a very ancient science and an art. And today it is used as a complementary therapy for all physical, mental and emotional disorders and issues. And these are some of the instruments that a sound therapist work with. Have you seen bowls like this? They are called, today you may have heard about Tibetan singing bowls. It is called the Tibetan singing bowls. But these are Himalayan in origin, and they are as old as almost 5,000 plus years. They are all handmade even today. And they are made of copper and tin as the base metal. And of course they have strengthening metals, but the predominant components are that. And that is how even the bells are made, isn't it? I shouldn't be talking about metals to Foundrymen. And the bells, that is why we have in all places of worship, we have the bell. And because the frequencies emitted by these two metals is very therapeutic. That is why we have bells. You ring the bell and walk underneath the bell to go into a place of worship. The church bell is tied so high that when it is rung, you have the vibrations covering the entire small area around the place of worship. And temples, we have bells. So it is just not to bring our attention to that puja or whatever is happening. It is actually because it is therapeutic. And whenever we say something in the form of religion, people obey. Otherwise, we do not, isn't it? So that is why maybe sound was brought into worship in almost all cultures, in the form of bells, in the form of percussion instruments, in the form of chanting, and so on. So these instruments, like when I initially started working with these instruments sometime in 2016, my family used to make fun of me. Nalla irukku biryani pandradhukku. Evlo perukku idhula sambar pannalam. So they were utensils actually once upon a time. They were used, in ancient times as utensils as well, but they were very therapeutic. And today we have these handmade instruments made by artisans who make it as a family tradition. But that is also dying. Just like other traditions which involve a lot of physical labor, this is also a dying tradition where it is hand hammered. And these are called the gongs. That is a gong, which is like a flat bell. Today, gongs are manufactured mostly by a company called Paiste in Germany. And we do have Chinese gongs, and we do have a few other companies which are coming. But these again work with, only the metal is first made, but after that it is hand hammered to finish. And they are again done by the artisans who have been doing it traditionally, but maybe over time all these would be machined. It may not be still handmade. But what is the idea behind these bowls and gongs? What happens is our body, which is made up of more than 1.2 million frequencies, has something called a natural order. When the child is born, initially a healthy child, when it is born, it is in natural order. Everything is perfect. But we do start aging the minute we are born. But when the child is born, it has the natural order. And if our body today also has that natural order, we are in good health. Great health. But unfortunately what happens is we deviate from that due to various things. Maybe I have a fall and my knee, the tissues, the muscles go out of natural order, the bone also goes out of order. And maybe I am very stressed, I am so worried that I have started developing type 2 diabetes. My pancreas and liver, they are not in their natural order. So it happens like that. So the principle behind sound healing is we try to bring the natural order to the body by the principle of resonance. Just like the experiment of a tuning fork being struck, brought near another tuning fork that also starts vibrating at that frequency. The same thing happens. The body comes into resonance with the help of the bowels. And one more thing that happens is sound travels so well in our body, which is more than 70% water, because sound travels 5 times faster in water than in air. The third thing that happens is that the brain wave, which is actually in the beta mode, as we call it. Like when I'm talking, you are listening. We are in that beta mode, which is between 13 to 30 hertz. There are some days when you wake up in the morning, you feel so fresh, refreshed, and you don't remember what happened during the night. That is because you would have gone into a theta state, where the brain waves drop down to 4 to 7 hertz. But do most of us struggle with sleeping? Getting to sleep? Starting sleeping is a problem because there are so many racing thoughts. And sometimes if we wake up in the middle of the night, going back to sleep is another problem because we are all worried about what is lying ahead on the next day. So sleep, which was expected to repair and rejuvenate us, we are not getting it adequately, and that is becoming one of the major problems that humanity is facing. So if the the brain does not get into that theta state, so the body's chance of repairing rejuvenation is becoming less. So if we are able to induce that theta state into our brain, then it becomes very easy to repair our body as well. So that is what happens when you listen to these bowls. The brain wave gets entrained to that theta state easily, and when you wake up or when you open your eyes at the end of a session, you feel very refreshed, and your mind also declutters, because the mind, the minute I say close your eyes and meditate, the minute we close our eyes, that is when when we say, okay, don't think of anything. Is it possible at all? 1,000 thoughts come in. Okay, think of only one thing. Think of only that candle light. And that is when we think about the flame. Oh my God, did I switch off the gas? That was very hot. Associated thoughts keep coming in. So it's very difficult to control the mind, especially because we have so many competing priorities and devices which keep dragging our attention every second. So if there is a way where I can think of only one thing, or at least I am forced to come to the present, this helps. Every hit on the bowl brings us to the present, so the mind at least declutters to some extent, that at the end of a session, you have lesser thoughts and you also have a rejuvenated body. And when this happens, we are also in that alpha state. The alpha state is something where we are just waking up from sleep. And when you wake up from sleep, don't we say that whatever dreams you have early morning will come true? That is because we are in that alpha state, and visualizing in the alpha state will help it to manifest. So this becomes the practice even today. I think, the corporate world as well. Any program that we conduct, we have visualization as part of it, right? So we are in that alpha state where if I say visualize golden cards going from the base of your feet into Mother Earth, you would be able to do it. And you would be able to work on your energy body. So sound therapy is actually a tool which will help us to get into energy fitness, but I would like you all to experience it, where I would play the bowls but take you through a guided journey kind of a thing. But what is important is first to relax ourselves, to bring our attention to different parts of the body. How many of you are into yoga? You're into yoga. Have you experienced yoga nidra? So we relax, it's a progressive muscle relaxation, right? So when the body really becomes very comfortable. So the same thing, we will do a progressive relaxation of the body, but then move beyond that into a visualization, and we will allow these sounds to bring a resonance into our body and maybe declutter our mind to some extent. And also at the same time, we would go on a mental journey to a place where normally we all don't have time to take vacations as much as we would like to. So let us go. These 20 minutes ahead of us, let us just go on a journey, maybe to a place. So ore kalla moonu manga. We'll try that. Okay. And at the same time, I will just guide you through only grounding. I'm not going to trouble you with all the other things that we discussed about. Maybe only grounding and just experiencing how it could be. Right? Comfortable as you can on a chair. Ideally, a sound therapy session is taken lying down. But let us experience what we can. It definitely, even this would be relaxing. Okay? So, close your eyes. Welcome to this session of Unwind Sound Bath Immersion, where we'll go on a journey and experience the inner energies and try to manage them to our advantage. Take a long, slow, deep breath in. Hold it for just a second and then exhale. Just allow any tension to melt away as you gradually relax with every breath you take. Let us take a few conscious, deep breaths in, inhaling in all the freshness around you. And exhale out any tiredness or fatigue in the body. Inhaling in happiness, peace, and calm. And exhaling out lower emotions that do not serve you any purpose. And now just allow this deep breathing to become a subconscious act of your body. But just be with the breath as it moves in and out. Continue to breathe slowly and gently. But be aware of the breath as it moves in and out. And when you're with the breath, the body takes the cue to relax itself. And let us invite in a wave of relaxation into the body, moving in from the top of the head. Relaxing your forehead and your temples. Gently moving over your closed eyes, ears, and your nose. Relaxing all your facial muscles. Relaxing your jaw. And gently moving through your neck and shoulders, releasing any knots of tension or stress that we may have gathered here without us realizing. Allow the wave of relaxation to move through your hands. And gently allow the wave to move through your upper trunk and your back, down your spine, vertebra by vertebra. Moving over the vital organs of your cardiovascular system. And let us pause for a moment to thank all the vital organs of our body in the upper trunk and in the abdomen for their excellent functioning all these years. And now, let us give them the permission to relax, to come to their natural order with a resonance and completely rejuvenate. Allowing the wave of relaxation to just move through your hip joint, one of the crucial joints of the body, allowing the energies here to come to their natural order. Now let the relaxation to move through the thighs, relaxing, comforting. Loosening the muscles around your knee joints. Comforting your calves and ankles. And gently relaxing the soles of your feet. and just allow yourself to drift into a deeper state of relaxation and allow the energies in your body to flow harmoniously with the vibrations. Now that you're deeply relaxed, join me on a journey to a place of sublime beauty. Visualize yourself standing on a white, sandy beach. It is early in the morning and a light, hazy mist surrounds you. There is a cool breeze all around you. The sand beneath your feet is so soft and warm. This place seems to be an island, and it is deserted all to yourself. And you have all the time in the world to revel in this place of beauty for some time. On the other side of the island, there seem to be tall trees leading into a forest. As you stand here, you feel a mild tug at the soles of the feet as you feel Mother Earth beneath your feet. Make your connection stronger with Mother Earth by visualizing thick golden roots from the soles of your feet going down into Mother Earth deeper and deeper. Down into Mother Earth, into the core of Mother Earth, wrapping around the central crystal of Mother Earth, drawing up the energies of Mother Earth, moving back to the soles of your feet. Allow this golden energy, the nurturing energy of Mother Earth, spread like golden sparkles all around you, forming a protective shield. And from the blue sky above, visualize a beautiful protecting blue light come over your head, mix with the golden sparkles and form a bluish golden shield all around you. This is an impregnable shield which will not allow any negative energies to come into your aura. And the shield is internally permeable, allowing you to let go of any lower energies that are not for your highest good. Strongly grounded and shielded by the protecting energies of Mother Earth, you feel safe and secure. And you see a path leading into the forest, and you would like to explore. The path is adorned with fragrant flowers on either side. And as you stand here gazing at this wonderful place, listen to the soothing sounds of the ocean. The path is so inviting, and you decide to walk into the forest. The birds calling out to you to enter their home. And you walk inside the forest, listening to the sounds of the jungle. As you walk, you reach a clearing in the forest, and in front of you is a crystal clear pond of water, shining like a mirror. The blue sky above you is reflecting in the pond, which does not even have a single ripple. But you see 3 steps leading into this pond of water. You feel so safe and secure that you decide to bathe in this pond. and you climb down the 3 steps of the ladder and glide into the pool. All your thoughts seem to melt away in this pond. Time seems to expand. Allow yourself to drift even more into a greater state of relaxation in this pond. And allow the vibrations to work on your energy body, cleansing, bringing in harmony, repairing, and rejuvenating. Now that you're deeply relaxed, bring your awareness back to the pond. Time seems to have expanded, and you decide to go back to the edge of the forest, climb up the 3 steps of the ladder. And walk back on the path leading to the edge of the forest. As you walk, these thoughts resonate in your mind. I am safe and secure, nurtured by Mother Earth. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. I am aware of my personal power and live life with great confidence. I am open to all the healing energies of the universe. I listen and I am listened to. I listen to my inner guidance and intuition and make decisions with clarity and with ease. I connect to the divine energies of the universe, and I always remember that I am a divine spark. Walking, you have reached the edge of the forest. Your heart is filled with pure joy and happiness and a sense of peace and calm. And now it is time to slowly come back to conscious awareness, taking time to sense your body. Feel the energy in the different parts of your body and allow a free flow of energy from the top of your head, through your neck, shoulders, through your upper trunk, through the abdomen, hips, through the thighs, knees, calf muscles, ankles, and the soles of the feet. Releasing any excess energy down into Mother Earth and retaining what is appropriate or what is required by the physical body now. Gently move your fingers. Gently move your hands. Sense your feet. And whenever you feel comfortable, rub your palms together, put them on your eyes, and then slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. Are you all comfortable? So, one thing about this is sound actually starts a process in our body by kindling the energies. I didn't want to say this in the beginning, but we could feel certain releases. Just like we have blocks in the blood arteries, we may be having energy blocks in our meridians. We all know that we have many meridians, which are energy channels which connect all the vital organs. There could be energy blocks, but that could get triggered and we could release. So sometimes we may feel twitches in our hands or limbs, something like a sudden shaking movement in our hands or our feet during a sound therapy session. And sometimes we also release it in different ways, maybe mild pinprick pains, or you could feel a warmth, and but that would go off after the session is over. Sometimes we start slightly releasing through a cough. I don't want to say it at the beginning because otherwise everybody would start coughing. So sometimes, it releases like that, but all this is only during the session, and after that you would feel very comfortable. And one important thing is that since a process has started, we have to support the body, support the energy flow in the body by drinking more water, because this energy travels very well in the hydrated channels of the body. So if all of you have been drinking 2 liters, please drink 2.5 liters. If you have been drinking 2.5, drink 3. But I wouldn't recommend more than that. Water, if some of you have been drinking just 1 liter, drink at least 2 liters, definitely. So it really helps when we stay hydrated. You would see the lightness in the body, and you would also see a change in our mental makeup. The circumstances around us is not going to change. Maybe if you experienced a very, kind of a peaceful time for the past 25, 30 minutes, the minute we go home, it is different. Reality is totally different. Did you forget to bring this? What happened to that? It is like that. But the change would be in us. You may see the way in which you are responding to the events of life may be different. So just observe and support your body and your mind, because it's a process that has actually started. So I would like to thank you all for being here and for this opportunity to just present to you about the concept of energy and an experience, or what I call as the sound bath, because the waves kind of come over us. So thank you very much. And if you have any queries, I would love to answer them. Aura cleansing is like, we visualize, just like today I took you through grounding. So you were standing on a beach, but you were in that mental, deeply relaxed state. So I guided you to just visualize roots going into the ground. So in that grounded state, we visualize our aura. And when I say think of your aura, you would think of it in a particular color. Whatever occurs to you instantly could be the color, because the aura keeps fluctuating. So there is a technique where we cleanse the aura by shrinking it, releasing, just like wringing, a towel to just dry like that, you wring your aura. So that is an aura cleansing technique. If I had brought everything here, I think it would have been too much on a first day. So I thought I'll just take you through grounding and shielding and just a mental journey today. I'll definitely connect with you and explain more on that offline. Yes, sir.
Does it have any good effect on the cardiac arteries?
Yes, definitely, sir. See, the bowls that I played here today corresponded to certain, the overall the muscles and tissues of the body. Similarly, there are bowls which correspond to the organ system, of which one is a cardiovascular bowl. So that works on the cardiovascular organs, and today, as a complementary therapy, sound therapy helps a lot. Recently, I work with many clients in my studio, and one of the recent clients had to undergo an angioplasty sometime in January, and after that he was advised to go in for an angiogram again in March, because they were expecting more blocks to be there. So we did about 4 sessions, because we have seen very good results with the cardiovascular bowl. And when he had to go for the angiogram, an echo was done initially. And in the echo, it was found that the pumping capacity of the heart was much higher than what it was earlier. And the doctor suggested that it may not be necessary to go in for an angio for next 1 year, because the capacity has increased. So this is actually something like a clinical proof. This is what we are kind of trying, instead of just, kind of anecdotal evidences. Clinically, when we are getting into a better health, which is proven with the help of these kind of, the reports, then it is good. But to answer your question, cardiovascular health can be greatly improved with the help of the resonance. So Again thank you for the opportunity. I have a small request. We are just circulating a small form where you can record your feedback. I would like to know about your feedback, and if there are no questions, I'll step offline. Sir, so if we do not have any specific problem, this is something like a spa. So we normally take a spa once in a month or once in 45 days, like that. So, but if we have some kind of an issue we are trying to address, we have to have more regularity in the sessions, maybe once in a week. And there are sometimes when for chronic problems, even everyday sound therapy will help. But sometimes it is not practical to come to a place to experience every day, because of which I have developed an app. So we have purely recorded sounds which we offer through the app. So when people come for treatment, so once in a week they come in person and then they take it on the app. But these kind of group sessions, and there are also some sessions where we work only with the gongs, and sometimes I conduct an all-night gong session, 8 hours of gong, and everybody lies around that. We give comfortable mattresses and people sleep through that. So 8 hours of vibration will definitely release a lot of chronic problems. So there are some intense sessions like that, but otherwise, depending upon the need, we work. They were asking, somebody was... yes, sir. I do conduct a lot of workshops. So there are... is it a workshop that you're talking about learning sound therapy? Yes. Learning sound therapy, the initial workshop where we can work on all the physical issues, is a 2-day workshop. So it's a 16-hour workshop where, 2 days from 10 to 5:30, like that. And you learn to work on all the physical problems, including pains, kind of chronic problems, hypertension conditions, digestive issues, neck tension, shoulder pain, all these things. And also to conduct maybe a group session to relax people. So people into yoga also learn this very much. When they conduct the yoga nidra, they combine it with these bowls and gongs. Now apart from that, I also conduct workshops for people who do not have the time to learn but would like to apply it. So I do conduct a lot of online workshops and also in-person workshops where we talk about different aspects, like to work on maybe energy. If we take energy fitness, that is one area, and emotional management, say sometimes anger management, these kind of things, or just for the physical body, like somebody has a cardiovascular problem. So that workshop will be concentrating on all the cardiovascular powers, and it is a learning and also an experience after that. Really? Yes, sir. Sound therapy helps wonderfully well for anxiety and depression related issues. People who, if you are able to detect it at the very early stage, very easily we can come out of it. So we do work with a lot of people, and even sometimes chronic patients who sometimes even some become a bit violent. There is a lot of reduction in their, the outbursts and other things. And the objective is we set small milestones, like what are the milestones that we need, and then we come down, one after the other. It works very well for mental problems.
We need to invest in these bowls?
Sir, actually the investment in the bowls is pretty high. So, so that is why there are therapists to whom you can go. And sometimes it is not practical to work on ourselves, but it is easier to lie down and hear. So that is why we offer it as a therapy also.
So when we hear the music, cinema music.
Yeah, for special children, again as I was just mentioning, we set specific milestones. So sometimes the child has problems in just being in a place. So the first thing would be we cannot make them lie down also in a place. So it takes some time. We just go very gradually, and soon what happens is they are able to hold their attention to just this listening process. and the behavior becomes better. And then we start working with the bowls on the body for improving any gross motor skills or the fine motor skills, whichever is a problem. So we work as a holistic approach with the help of other healing modalities also in our studio. We include pranic, we include acupuncture, and then we also include certain other techniques, naturopathy techniques, which would help. Because when it comes to a specific problem, an integrated approach always helps.
So when we hear the melodious sound, it gives the same result or it is something?
Online, sir? You mean through the app?
Ah, yeah.
Definitely, yes. I was very skeptical initially because pre-COVID, I was a very strong believer that only in-person would work. But during the COVID, we all were experimenting with many, many things. So in association with an Ayurvedic doctor, we just conducted a webinar on sleep. So in which first I recorded the sound and I tried. And I was very surprised that all my clients who used to come in person said, wow, this is very good because it's pure sounds. We are not having any disturbances. It is nice. So that led me to establish a recording studio, and the sounds are recorded and they are produced with the same authenticity and fidelity as you would be hearing it in person. There are pros and cons in both. When you kind of come in person, your skin becomes the third ear and you would be feeling the vibrations. How was it for you, sir? Very close to the gong. It was too high. So the skin becomes a third ear and it takes in. You were shivering. Okay. But in a pure recorded kind of a sound, there are other advantages, like where we can digitally introduce certain frequencies. And there are certain frequencies which work specifically for certain purpose. For example, the frequency of 174 hertz is a pain relieving frequency. So if you have any kind of a pain, if you were to listen only to that monotonous 174 hertz also, your pain will get relieved. But we are not used to hearing that monotonous sound. So when it is combined with the sounds of the bowls, it produces magical results. So on the app, I have for headache, I have for shoulder pain, I have for knee pain, like that, because the corresponding bowl plus 174. So that 174 in producing in my studio in person will not be appropriate, because still it would come as a monotone into their ear. So there are advantages in person as well as in the online. Sir, actually the mobile app as such is free to download, and in that there is a 5-minute grounding and shielding, which I call the everyday grounding and shielding. I'm a very strong believer in that grounding and shielding. That the 5-minute meditation is free. I will maybe I'll share the link to the app. You all can just download and use that every day. And it is called Dhwani, Dhwani, Dhwani. And if you put Dhwani Satvat, you would see our logo there and you can download. I'll share the link with you, sir. Maybe you can. Yeah. So and in that, sir, whenever there is a program, it depends upon what the type of program, the duration of it is, and it is sometimes as low as $499, and a lifetime is as high as $2,999, a lifetime use of something. So that is how it's going. My online sessions are about 500 to 600 rupees for any session. So we just want to make it affordable so that it isn't kind of an elitist thing alone. Dhwani.
எல்லாரும் வெளியே வந்துட்டோம்னு நினைக்கிறேன். We go on to the different world and come back, I believe. எல்லாருக்கும் எப்படி இருந்துச்சுன்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா ஃபீட்பேக் சொன்னீங்கன்னா நல்லாயிருக்கும். I think madam would be feeling happy. ஃபார்மில் ஃபில் பண்ணிட்டேன் சார். Okay. Okay. We have come to the very interesting end of the session, and I would like now to felicitate the speaker, Mrs. Sunithi S. Ramesh. Now I request Mr. Palani Murugan, our SR Honorary Secretary, to felicitate with the mementos. No, indeed, it's very interesting and informative session. I think all of us agree that we gone to the different world altogether and learned a lot of new subject, and we really thank you for your valuable time. Not only for your time, like your team has spent, brought so much of equipments, instruments and setup. I think this is the first time all of us are witnessing. Let us have a big applause, please. I'm sure that this session you could have conducted with just slides and maybe recorded voice, but it's a phenomenal effort. Thanks for our entire team. Further, I would like to thank all the members who have come for in physical form. I think we could see the hall full today. That shows the importance of the topic. Normally, we have to get this kind of halls. And as you all know, as from Chennai chapter, we conduct regular seminars, webinars regularly, and we'll be sending our information. Please try to attend the programs. And as regularly we are informed that we also have our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the channel so that you will get to know the informations. And I would now request you to join for the dinner. Thank you very much. Thank you.